Welcome to a special Jace Media Music video interview. I am your host, Justin Smolison, proud Jace contributor from across the pond. I am always delighted to present a new dialogue with my all-time metal hero, Mr. John Bush of Armored Saint. There he is, there's us. There's the band. Armored Saint's my favorite metal band, and they have a brand new album out. It is called Emotion Factory Reset. It was released by the brilliant minds at Metal Blade Records, and you are hearing a clip of one of the lead singles, Hit a Moonshot, and we're going to hit a moonshot today with this dialogue with John. We're going to talk all about the songs on Emotion Factory Reset, some of their deeper meanings, and what it took to get this album out to the world. Additionally, this summer, Armored Saint will be hitting the road in the EU and the UK. Starting on July 30th, they will be in Denmark along with some other metal champs, Metal Church. And that tour will start in Denmark and take them through various festivals. That tour will take them through August 29th, 2026, when they will eventually reach Newark, UK for the Stone Dead Festival. So if you are one of our local Jace Media Music audience members, please check them out while you get the chance. Additionally, from November 2nd to November 21st, they will be back stateside and in North America doing a West Coast tour along with Metal Church. It's a co-headlining tour. We're going to talk all about it, and we're going to play some more clips. I'm always excited to speak with John. He's my hero, and it's a real privilege and an honor and a pleasure to speak with him. So let's get to it. Jace Media Music audiences worldwide, please welcome one of the all-time iconic metal singers, Mr. John Bush of Armored Saint. Okay, here we go. I am joined by my all-time metal hero, Mr. John Bush. John, it is a pleasure to see you again.
How you doing, brother? What's
I'm good. I wanted to start off by showing you, I have a little contribution to the Book of Blood.
To the Book of Blood. Oh, you did some blood?
I donated some cells last night, yeah.
Good boy. Good job.
I did that in honor of my favorite metal band right there.
That's great, man. That's great. That's a really noble thing to do, of course. You know, blood is really needed out there. We've done it a few times. My wife actually goes to the Pantages Theater, which is a really beautiful, amazing theater here in Hollywood, and they have plays and musicals and stuff. And they, for whatever reason, they have like a blood drive there every now and then, and she'll go and sit in the foyer of the theater and sit there with a needle on her arm and get blood, which is really cool. And I've done it a few times too. It's great.
Is John Bush afraid of needles?
No.
Okay.
Afraid of needles. I mean, I don't want to be a junkie. You know, I'm happy I'm not a junkie, because then I would not, that would be a struggle, for various reasons, of course. Sure. But, yeah, I'm not too, I don't look, once it was put in, I kind of look the other way.
I do the same thing. I was just going to say, yeah.
It's not like I can't handle it. I feel bad for my kid, because my son, he had a few issues when he was young, and he had to have basically a blood test every 6 months, and started when he was about 6 or 7. So, it was a pretty tough thing for us to endure, watching him have this needle, and he was freaking out. By the time he was like 10, he was like, all right, whatever, do it,
let's just get it over with.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I want to show everyone out there that this is one of the greatest moments of my life right here. There it is. I show this every time. I'm not going to get sick of showing this either.
Monsters of Rock.
This was the Mega Cruise.
Oh, the Mega Cruise. I'm sorry, Mega Cruise. Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think I tackled all of you, and
good.
It was worth it. It was worth the beating that I received later. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Hopefully nobody tore an ACL or anything.
No. Everybody was great. So we've got Emotion Factory Reset, this brand new album. It picks up where Punching the Sky kind of leaves off, at least as far as tone, like where you are in life, and it's out there now. You're getting ready to do some tours. How do you feel now that these songs are out there for the world?
Yeah, I feel great. I love the record. I think it's awesome. I'm real proud of it. I think we've, continued to grow, and that's the objective. So, at the end of the day, once you put a record out, I've always said this, is that it's no longer yours, it's kind of the public. So it's up to them to kind of, you know, digest it in the way they do, and hopefully they dig it. Obviously, we make music that we want to please ourselves, but at the end of the day, we we realize the reality of you're playing for the public, and you're hoping that they like what you do, because then your success will probably continue to grow. Uh,
Right.
but yeah, we're getting great reviews, and I think we continue to kind of push our fan base and challenge it a little bit. And this
Yeah.
time we tried to make songs that sounded epic but weren't as long. So like
Yeah.
we like writing long songs sometimes, hence standing on the shoulders of giants, or songs like Muscle Memory. Even the songs that are like rockers, we look back and go, oh no, they're like over 5 minutes long. Can we condense that a bit?
Yeah.
And the label asks us to as well, because they prefer to put everything on one. And when it comes to vinyl, you don't want to make two vinyls because it's just more expensive, of course.
Sure.
So the goal is to put it on one vinyl, and we did that. We were able to kind of have the same feeling with some of these songs, but also not make them long, epic opuses, which I love those too, but
Yeah.
kind of a little more concise.
You do them both well. So this is a little bit like we were saying, a little bit more concise, like we were saying. Hit a moonshot. That's it.
Yeah.
First of all, did you actually take a moonshot while you were filming that video? Did anybody accidentally slip and knock John Bush in the face?
No, they didn't really, and I did have a stunt double who did a couple things, mainly just the one somersault thing,
Yeah.
and he was amazing. He had to shave his head, he had all these tats, so he had to cover, because I have none, and he had to cover his arms. That's where we both wore long sleeves. He was great. He
Yeah.
actually was a stunt coordinator too. But I did most of my own stunts in that, and
Yeah.
it was really fun. I think it's a great video. I'm really, really happy with it. I think it shows a lot of personality for the band, which is what we want.
Right.
We could be pretty funny guys at times, and I don't think
Yeah.
that always comes through. And it's cool when it does, because you want to have a sense of humor about life. You're in
Yeah.
the music business. Come on, after all. So, um, and it just Dave Brodsky and Ali, they just do amazing videos, and it came out incredible.
You brought a bat to a fist fight. I thought that was a little almost unfair. I
Well,
mean,
we
I
kinda
want you to win.
try to play on the Escape from New York, a little Fight Club thing, and, all the kind of things, the movies that are inspiring to us, and then, Kazi was the big that's his name, the guy who does who's my, nemesis, if you will, and he was amazing. He's a great actor, actually,
Yeah.
and he just has great facial expressions, and it was a lot of fun.
That's cool. Now that song, like we're saying, that has kind of the classic Latter-day Armored Saint chorus.
It
That
does, yeah,
the
it's got a
3 or
huge
4 word
chorus.
chorus and you're in there, right?
Yeah, it's got a huge chorus. The riff is ferocious and sounds amazing when it comes in, and a lot of big background vocals, including mostly Joey doing a lot of those background vocals, and he sang
Yep.
his butt off, um, and it just sounds cool. It's like it has that really cool breakdown section towards the end. It sounds different for some of the breakdowns that we sometimes do as a band, um, and it just has a lot of personality, that song does, and it's powerful and has it's giant chorus, so stoked.
Did you know when you wrote that one that, okay, this is one that we're going to lead with, and this is something we can put on stage and people are gonna dig it?
I think once you never quite know until you actually finish the song, but you get the sense that it sounds like one of those classic Armored Saint songs that
Yeah.
have this big epic sound to it. Um, again, shows a lot of diversity, and you, it's fun, has some witty lyrics, and it's just kind of it's when it's all said and done, when we play, because we played it live, a couple
Yeah.
times so far now, and, still trying to figure it out a little bit, because we played twice, but, it's one of those songs you kind of feel like, "Okay, this is probably one that's gonna stick around for a while."
Good, good. Because I feel like that's obviously, one of the leads Close to the Bone was a song that you opened the album with.
Yeah.
You started the whole PR campaign with. That
Yeah.
one's great. That one's like
Cool too.
the win hands down
Yeah.
of this album to me.
Yeah, it sounds like vintage Saint, it
Yep.
sounds like something when you think, "Okay, what does this band sound like?" You say this, like this, and
Yes.
that
Yeah.
song, so
Yeah. And because you're singing about, I feel like you've always sung about life and attitude and how you're gonna take things and how you're gonna put things back out there, like a give and take sort of a thing. That's how I imagine John Bush writes.
Yeah, I
Take
mean, a long
something like
time ago, I think I mean, I was a big U2 fan,
yeah.
like, I remember me and Dave, like, being enamored with Unforgettable Fire. That was right around the time Delirious Nomad was gonna be recorded, and we were just very, very into that band at that time. They were so cool sounding and just, forward thinking. I love Bono. I thought he was just like this, he was just cool.
Yeah.
And so, and the things they did, sometimes they wrote things that were just like, um, stream of consciousness thoughts, um, and you couldn't really kind of sometimes. I mean, of course, they had songs like Sunday Bloody Sunday and New Year's Day that were very specific, but not always. And then as they went on, they kind of sometimes they would just touch on different emotions um, and not necessarily spill it all out. And that's what it really inspired me. So there's again certain songs in Armored Saint are very specific, but sometimes they're a little more vague. It depends. And sometimes songs get this feeling that like they take on another meaning. What was it? The song I was just gonna. It was weird. I was like, oh wait, now this song means something completely else to me. Years later, it was weird. Shoot, of course, it escapes me at the
One
moment.
of yours or
Yeah,
you
one of
just
our songs.
oh,
Maybe sometimes the way life goes and things that happen in society and whatever world events, they change, and so all of a sudden they kind of change the meaning of the song to me, so in the premise of the song. So um I don't know, it's weird to me, like it's the feeling I get. Oh, Rain of Fire. So Rain
oh,
of Fire, all of a sudden I was reading Dante's Inferno because I was like, I'm trying to read old books that I never read, classics, because I was just never the best reader as far as reading novels when I
mhm,
was younger. And reading that whole book and about hell and this and that, and all of a sudden I was like, okay, now Rain of Fire is about Dante's Inferno. It takes on this whole new meaning to me, and I was laughing to myself, going, "There's elements of that song that kind of could be the background for that book." And I was like going, that wasn't really what we thought about when we were writing it, but now maybe that's what it means to me. So it's
yeah.
kinda funny.
Speaking of literature or history, thanks for making me go to Wikipedia to find out who William Tell was in
Mm.
Moonshot.
You didn't know William Tell?
I did not know who he was.
Oh,
So,
that's funny.
Swiss folk hero famed for his marksmanship and defiance of tyranny. Very, very astute. Very good.
Yeah,
Very good.
totally. Very, very cool. Yeah,
Making me work. You're making me do a mental sweat right there.
well, I am too, I mean, I love using sometimes these identities and throwing them in songs, and I don't know, I kinda when it comes to lyrics, I just my attitude is we could write about anything, and
Yeah.
sometimes that doesn't always coincide with the heavy metal world, per se, but with all due respect, sometimes I just don't care, I just
Yeah.
wanna write, and just write kind of themes and stories and
Right.
thoughts and whatever comes to me, and then kind of bring it to the public and go, "What do you think of this?" What do I think of this? I don't know, it's kind of funny.
Well, nobody really, I don't think anyone's expecting John Bush to write about, the myths of the Carpathian Forest or anything like that.
I
I
might pull one song out like that. We
Yeah.
play Human Vulture. I mean, we've been playing that, and Human Vulture was, I don't really is kind of about a vampire, a little bit. Um, definitely is about a vampire. Actually, it was 1986 when we started writing that song, and um, certainly can play to, there's a fascination with vampires and movies and books. It was funny. I just read something that Bram Stoker never went to Transylvania, yet he wrote about this place, but he had never
Right.
been there. And it's
Okay.
pretty funny. I was laughing, going, so he had this image of what the city was, but he had never went. And I guess I read this big article on it. It's pretty funny. So, you know, I mean, human vulture definitely could be in the Carpathian Forest. So. He lurks there.
Yeah. I did want to ask you before we move on too far. My favorite track on the album so far is "Every Man, Any Man." I think that
a lot of people like that song. Yeah, that's a video.
Having listened to you pretty much my whole life, if I could, that is one of my top 5 John Bush songs at this point. And I think, having interviewed you a few times over the years now, several times, thankfully, that really does. I feel like that's an authentic John Bush statement right there.
Well, thank you. You know, musically, it's really cool. Like when I first heard it, to me, I was like, well, when Joey was showing me some of the ideas, I was like, this sounds like the Police. And I was like, that's cool. And then it goes into that groove, you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's just vintage Joey and Gonzo with that groove. You know, it just swings. And I mean, you know, not to sound arrogant or anything, but I just don't feel like a lot of metal bands can pull off that groove right there. It's just such a groove. It sounds like it could be in a funk song. Yeah. You know, and then it goes into you know, these big open chords, which is really, really cool sounding. And then, you know, the chorus is cool because it's kind of this repetitive part, but, you know, it's like the classic question answer kind of chorus.
Yeah. I feel like you and Henry Rollins do it best.
Oh, that's cool. Wow, Henry Rollins.
You and Henry Rollins, and I don't know if you remember, but I said this to you last time. One day, if you're ever going to bust out the song La Raza again, just bring him up on stage and just duel it out. Like
that's funny. Well, I remember seeing Henry Rollins at the Limelight. Okay, the Limelight. Scott was really into Rollins' band during the recording and writing of Stomp. Like very into Henry, and so like I think that kind of like you listen to some of the Stomp songs, you could hear that kind of influence vocally. I went with it, you know. I was like, all right, cool. Henry's awesome. I mean, I'll never be as buff as him or close.
Who will?
But yeah, exactly. But yeah, he's an awesome personality. So that's an honor.
Excellent. So you got, we could briefly plug this. You got a tour coming up for most of Western U.S. and part of Canada with Metal Church. The new lineup is there. Your old buddy Dave Ellison's in the group.
It's gonna be great.
Is that a co-headlining show?
Yeah, it's a co-headline. We're gonna they're gonna take some closing sets in certain territories. We're gonna close some, but we're both gonna play the same amount of time. It's gonna be great. You know, those guys kind of are cut from the same cloth to some degree. It's a classic metal tour to, you know, vintage 80s bands who have new records. So, you know, if you're a metalhead, you know, and you're 15 to 60, why would you not go to that show? That's what I want to know. So we kind of had to avoid certain territories because they've already committed to playing some places. They're playing a couple dates in the Midwest and the East Coast. So couldn't just go back right away, obviously. So, which is a little bummer. That's why it's kind of contained to a certain territory, mostly the western half of the U.S. But, you know, who knows what will happen next year.
Yeah. And then you're going to be with Armored Saint, of course. You've got some European shows coming up, a couple of festivals.
That'll be really great. Yeah. Playing some shows with Testament, Sabotage, which would be really awesome. Metal Church as well. We're playing Copenhagen for the first time ever with Metal Church. Nevermore is going to play in one of those shows with us, which will be really cool. And heard the new singer sounds great for that band.
You got to bring it. You got some heavyweight singers that you're up. Like, not that you're up against, but you're sharing the stage with.
I better bring it. For sure. You know, Chuck Billy, he's my bud from Metal Legions. He's great. And all these guys are great singers and cool bands, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. Plus some festivals we're doing. It's always great. Alcatraz, Brutal Assault. We always have a lot of fun at those shows.
And then you close out at the Stone Dead Festival in Newark, United Kingdom, not New Jersey, on August 29th.
Yeah, that'll be cool. It's, you know, right in the heartland of England, and it'll be a lot of fun. And I think Europe is playing. You know, they're legendary band. You know, it'll be cool.
Excellent. Now, if you don't mind, I think you're going to be cool with this. We're just going to talk because the last time I saw you was in December in New York City. You did 3 John Bush shows. This was the last of the 3. There you are, donning our Knicks jersey right there.
Dude, look at the Knicks.
And
I had foresight. You know, I was like, okay, the Knicks are gonna be there.
And you did something that was really cool. In addition to the set, because it was just fantastic. It was a celebration of your time
Thank you.
with Anthrax, but you also did the Category 7 song. So I was
Yeah.
getting the best of all possible worlds right there.
Yeah.
And
A lot of work.
yeah, yeah, I bet. Here's your guy, your partner in crime over there on the right, with along with just a monster on the drums, Mr. Bittner.
Yep.
Um, Now you did that show, and I want to say it was it Detroit Steel City somebody had been nagging you to do a song to do Strap It
Oh,
On.
yeah, yeah, that's great. Yeah, Strap It On. That's his, yeah, Detroit Rock Philly, I think is,
Detroit Rock Philly, that's what
yeah.
it was. Yes.
And he was relentless. And it's like, we were laughing, me and my wife going like, this guy is relentless, man. So I was like, we got to play it. I mean,
So
even,
you called them out, and the
yeah,
place went silent for a second, and one person goes, "Woo!" And then you found them.
it was great. It was funny. I kind of was busting his balls a little bit. He was, he went with it.
Yeah.
I think he did.
No, they were
That was
great.
cool.
They
Like,
were right near me. Yeah, I didn't know
to
who they were.
me, those are special moments in being in a band because
Yeah.
like, if I mean, for what it's worth, I don't think he was the only guy because actually the song went over pretty well. And in my time in Anthrax, we never ever played that song.
Right.
So that was why I was like, we got to play it because we never played it. And this guy's relentless, and kudos to him that he's that relentless. So, and it's a cool song. It's kind of
Yeah.
heavy and has some cool lyrics. Um, and so it was fun to play that. And like I said, even if it was just for him, but it wasn't.
It
But it
wasn't.
was, I think it was kind of fun. And I mean, I assume that he was happy.
I know, no, we were all happy. And I got a cool shot right here. If they ever wanna revisit or redesign the Uncle Sam photo of "I Want You," here it is right there. That's it.
That's funny.
That's the John Bush recruiting you to
Yeah, that's
something.
cool. Well,
Yeah.
I got the Walt Frazier old school jersey,
Yep.
and the Knicks are having this incredible, like, I mean, I'm afraid actually if the Knicks win, that could be troublesome for Manhattan, really, in all honesty.
Yeah.
But, hopefully they, they celebrate responsibly, if they win. It's not gonna be easy because either the
Right.
Thunder or the Spurs, I'm a big sports fan. We could have a whole 'nother segment on that, but,
Yeah.
Thunder took the lead yesterday, but I kinda keep this feeling that the Spurs they're not dead, and, Wembanyama is just, the guy's phenomenal. So, but the Knicks are playing at a level that's just, like, unprecedented. They really are. I mean, they swept back-to-back series, and pretty much just, embarrassed the Cavs. It was bad. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So John, I know I gotta let you go in a couple minutes. If we are finally it's been what's it been, about 5.5 to 6 years in between albums now?
It was 6
Uh,
years because it came out 20. Yeah.
right, right. So you're obviously you're feeling good, you're feeling healthy, you're going out there, you got a whole bunch of shows coming up. And then is there are there more touring plans after what's announced that you just can't mention yet? Or is there and is Category 7 coming back? Hopefully, yes.
There's everything is been announced now that we had in the books. There's talk about something in March. There's a festival in March. I can't. Well, we don't have an official offer yet, so let me not
I'll
reveal
cut
it
that.
yet. But if it happens, then we'll do a run around it
Mhm.
in the States here. Um, to me, there's a lot of territories to play with Armored Saint. We want to get back to South America. I really want to play Japan again because we just haven't done it. We played once, which is absurd. It would be a good idea to get back to Australia because we played it once in the history of the band. So maybe we could hit those territories on this album. We're trying to make that work. It would be ideal if we can go with another group, just because it's kind of cost effective and you kind of get people. It'd be great for us in Metal Church to go to Australia together and
Sure.
play. It's not easy because it's just not cheap to do it because you have to travel constantly. And
Yeah.
but these are the things that I would like to do. I'm trying to write some songs for Category 7, actually. Of course, I'm not working too quickly with that, but I'm
Right.
trying. I would like to do some of this John Bush thing in Europe at some point if I could, just because that's one territory I played every album and when I was in Anthrax, and
Yeah.
I think those fans would be very, very happy to hear it. as well.
All those shirts sold out. I couldn't even get to
I
the
know,
line.
it's
They were
crazy. It
gone.
was really cool. I know.
Yeah.
So, we'll see how this all plays out. It's about putting all this time together and figuring it out. But to me, there's no urgency with it. There's a little urgency with the Saint record because it just came out, and
Yeah, yeah.
you want to have like this big buzz at the beginning of it for sure, as everybody does when they put out a record. But yeah, I mean, the world is big, so it may take it some time to get to those places to play, and that might be months after your record's out. So it is the case here in the US, quite honestly. So stuff.
All right. Excellent. Well, I hope you come back to my neck of the woods again. I feel very fortunate that I get a chance to talk to you pretty much every year now, which is excellent.
Yeah,
And
man.
you're my all-time favorite singer. I'm just gonna hold up some of my favorites
Dude,
right there.
you're a huge supporter of,
Yep.
of my bands and myself, and I love you for it. Thanks very much.
Special thanks again to my all-time favorite metal singer, John Bush. At the top, you heard a clip of Hit a Moonshot. During the interview, you heard a clip of the new single, Every Man, Any Man, and Close to the Bone. All of these fantastic tracks are off the new album, Emotion Factory Reset, which is available worldwide from our brilliant friends at Metal Blade Records. Armored Saint will also be hitting the road to tour the Circuit Festival in the EU, starting July 30th in Copenhagen at Pumpahuset with Metal Church. And they have several dates through August 29th. They will end up at the Stone Dead Festival in Newark, UK. So if you are a local Jace Media listener, go to that festival and check out one of the great American metal bands. And if you will be in the US this November, they will co-headline a tour with Metal Church with support from Livekill. It starts November 2nd at the Coach House in San Juan Capistrano in California, and it will run through November 21st at the Canyon Club back in Agora Hills, California. The full itinerary is on this interview show notes. Visit armoredsaint.com and follow them on social for more information. And as always, be sure to make legitimate purchases of the music, merch, and tickets to support hardworking artists like John Bush and all the members of Armored Saint. Head on over to jacemediamusic.com for more interviews, reviews, and live coverage. And of course, I've got a ton of hard rock and metal musician interviews, including Crimson Glory founding guitarist Ben Jackson, Warlord and Alcatraz singer Giles Lavery, guitar heroes like Herman Frank of Victory, and Soren Anderson, guitar player for Glenn Hughes, Philip Schaus of Accept, and Fate's Warning singer Ray Alder, and members of Temptress, Avatarium, Captain Blackbeard, and more. Special thanks, as always, to our fantastic founder and publisher, Glenn, and all of my Jace Media colleagues. And of course, special thanks to you, the worldwide Jace Media music audience. Look for Jace Media on Facebook and X and Instagram and basically every social media channel you can think of. I am Justin Smolison, proud Jace Media contributor from across the pond. Thank you again for tuning in. Keep coming back to jacemediamusic.com. I've got more video interviews on the way.